How are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the NRL Round 15 tips for the 2024 NRL season. Obviously, Round 14 finished earlier this evening. We saw the Dogs knocking off the Eels there in the final 5 minutes. And I thought, you know what? Let's get into Round 15, get the tips out early, and then tomorrow we're going to do the mid-season review. We're going to go for each team and talk about how that season has gone so far, because we're pretty much at the halfway mark now of the NRL season. Obviously, 27 rounds, round 14 to 15 is probably the halfway mark. So we're going to get into that tomorrow night. And if you're wondering how I went for round 14, I had a good round. Only got the one tip wrong, and unfortunately, my beloved Cowboys were the team that I got wrong. But what can you do? You win some, you lose some, and that's just how it goes. But round 15 is going to be quite big. It's a lot of good games this weekend. Like, I'm looking at it right now. I reckon there's probably two, four. I reckon there's about six out of the 8 games this weekend are very hard to tip. They could literally 6 of the 8 games could literally go either way. So if anybody manages to get 8 from 8 for round 15, then you've done bloody well. But before we get into the tips, I want to say hello to the live chat as always. Hello to Hosea. Hello to Sport, Cody, Josh, Michael, Jason Reader, William Pearson, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, Jim, Hosea, everyone that's watching. Shout out to the followers in New Zealand. I know it's like 10:30 at night over there, so thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for staying up. Shout out to the UK followers that watch the channel. I know it's probably like 10:30 in the morning over there. I got no idea what the time is in England, but I'm assuming it'd be morning sometime. So shout out to everyone that's watching. If you're new, make sure you do press the subscribe button, like the video, and do all that good stuff. Well, all right, let's get into it. Without further ado, round 15 of the NRL kicks off on Thursday night with an absolute blockbuster. Could be the game of the round. It is the Cronulla Sharks up against the Dolphins Thursday night at PointsBet Stadium, Shark Park in Sydney. It is the battle of the sea creatures. The Cronulla Sharks up against the Dolphins. The Sharks are the favourites. They are $1.35, and the Dolphins $3.35. Now, I'm not sure if Nico Hines will be back or not. Even if he isn't back, the Sharks still look very good. The Dolphins have never won a game in Sydney. I think they're like 0-5 or 0-6 in Sydney. So they've never won down there. Now, the Dolphins did beat the Sharks last year at Magic Round in the only game they've played against each other. So that's something to take out of it. But for this game, I think it will be 1-12. I am going to tip the Sharks. I think it will be a really good game of footy, though. If the Dolphins happen to win, then it just proves that they are potentially a finals team. So we'll see how they go, but I'm going to take the Sharks. I just think the Sharks down there in Cronulla, Thursday night, hard to beat. Yeah, I'm going to go Cronulla by 8 points. I'm going to go with a scoreline of 24 points to 16, favour of the Sharks. First try scorer, I reckon the Dolphins might actually score the first try. I'm going to go Herbie Farmworth as the first try of the game. And yeah, Sharks by 8. Should be a very good game, this one. Looking forward to it. The battle of the sea creatures. It's a top 4 clash. First against fourth, so should be a banger. Moving on to Friday night footy. And if you guys don't know this already, I will be in Canberra on Friday night for this one. The Canberra Raiders up against my beloved North Queensland Cowboys. Friday, 6 o'clock down there in the nation's capital. My first time at Canberra Stadium, so really looking forward to getting down there. It's going to be cold. I believe the hottest will be 9 degrees, and the coldest we'll get is -1. So, yeah, fantastic weather for Canberra. Absolutely fantastic. But, yeah, Raiders up against the Cowboys. Raiders are the favourites here at $1.65. Cowboys $2.25. The Cowboys have won their last two in Canberra. They did win there in 2019 and in 2022. So we do have a fair record in Canberra. I think this will be a very good game. I think we can get it done. If it was in Townsville, I'd be probably more confident in Townsville. But I think we are going to go very close in this game. The only player that's in doubt is Jordan McLean. I think he's got a bit of a calf problem, so he could be out. But everyone else is looking like they're going to be ready to go. I think we can get away with a very good win. I think it'll be high scoring. There's no rain expected, thankfully. So, obviously, I'm going to tip the Cowboys to win. I'll go 30 points to 24. Fairly high scoring game. First try scorer, I'm going to go with the Queensland 5'8", Tom Dearden. I reckon he'll be the first try scorer. Cowboys to beat the Raiders by 6, 30 to 24. Come on, the Cowboys. And the other game on Friday night is at 8 p.m. from Accor Stadium in Sydney. We've got the South Sydney Rabbitohs up against the Brisbane Broncos. Now, the Broncos do go in as favourites here, $1.60. The Rabbitohs at $2.40. Broncos have lost 2 in a row, which is a bit unlike them, considering they were in the grand final last year. You wouldn't have thought they would lose 2 in a row. As for Souths, they've actually won 2 in a row, beating Parramatta and then winning on the weekend against the Titans up there on the Gold Coast. Now, the Rabbitohs do welcome back Cameron Murray, I believe. The Broncos, I don't think they get anybody back at this point. But for this game, look, I know the Rabbitohs are looking for 3 in a row. And look, Souths could win this game. But I can't see the Broncos losing 3 in a row. I think they'll bounce back in this game. I do think the Broncos will actually win quite well. I think they'll bounce back. I think this is a statement game for the Broncos. So, Broncos to win against the Rabbitohs Friday night. I'll go with scoreline 32 points to 16. 16-point win for the Broncos down there at Accor Stadium. First try scorer, I'll go with Selwyn Cobbo. I think he'll be out for a really big game. He wants to get back into form for State of Origin and whatnot. So, Broncos to win 32 to 16. Cobbo for first try scorer. Broncos to win at Accor Stadium. So, should be an interesting game, that one. Moving on to Super Saturday, and we start off with an absolute poo slinger. I don't think anybody is looking forward to this game, man. Saturday, 3 o'clock, man. Leichhardt Oval. West Tigers, Gold Coast Titans. What a tough game to call, man. Both sides got absolutely flogged last week. West Tigers were beaten by 50. The Titans were beaten by 46. Both sides do not look great at all. It's a bottom 4 poo slinger for Saturday afternoon. Now, the Gold Coast go in as favourite at $1.65. West Tigers $2.25. Now, the West Tigers did win at Leichhardt earlier this year against the Sharks, and they were quite impressive in that game. Now, I believe I saw a stat. I think the Gold Coast Titans have won like 3 or 4 games in a row at Leichhardt Oval or something. They've actually got a good record down there, which is a little bit surprising. But look, I think you could just get a $2 coin out and flip a coin for this game. It could go either way. I'm actually going to tip the West Tigers. I think at Leichhardt Oval, the West Tigers will want to win as many games as they can at Leichhardt. Both sides don't look great. I guess whoever completes the best will probably win this game. West Tigers to win. 26 points to 24. Very high scoring game. It should be close. First try scorer. I reckon the Gold Coast might score first. David Fifita. I'll back him for the first try scorer. But West Tigers to win. 26 to 24. Wouldn't be surprised if the Gold Coast do win, though. Wouldn't be shocked. Moving on to Saturday night at 5:30 over at Mount Smart Stadium in New Zealand. I believe it's 7:30 in New Zealand, 5:30 for us here in New South Wales. What a bloody game, man. New Zealand Warriors versus the Melbourne Storm. And gee whiz, the Warriors, they will want revenge for what happened last time. If you remember, I think it was round 2. The Storm were down by 8 with about 2 to go, and Melbourne ended up winning with about 20 seconds to go. Xavier Coates with a try in the corner to win the game. It was quite remarkable. The Warriors will want revenge. They will get back Sean Johnson, from my understanding. Melbourne, still no Pappenhausen. They will get Will Warbrick back. Tough game to call. It's in New Zealand. The Warriors had a very good win over the Cowboys last week. They've won 3 in a row. Melbourne have been good without being great. This is going to be a really tight game. Really tough game to call. You know what? I'm going to stick with the Storm. I've got no confidence in this game. I mean, if the Warriors win, I won't be shocked. If the Storm win, I won't be shocked. It's one of those games. It's tough to call. I'm going to put my trust in the Melbourne Storm. I think Melbourne by 4. I'll go 20 points to 16. I think it'll be a really tight game. First try scorer, I'll go with the hero, or if you're a Warriors fan, maybe the villain, Xavier Coates as the first try scorer. Melbourne by 4, 20 to 16. But if the Warriors win, won't shock me one bit. I do think they can win. Should be interesting, but I'll go Melbourne just. No real confidence. Saturday night, 7:35 from CommBank Stadium. The Parramatta Eels up against the Sydney Roosters. Roosters $1.50. Eels $2.55. Roosters obviously fresh off the bye. They will want to bounce back after getting beaten by the Cowboys in their last game. And the Eels, well, they led 18-10 against the Dogs and somehow got beat 22-18. Disappointing for the Eels. It's actually really hard to tip Parramatta. I won't lie. Parramatta are struggling bad. Their record is 4 wins, 9 losses. I don't see how they make the finals from here. I think Parramatta, this might be their absolute last chance to make anything of their season. If they go 4-10, that's it. I think Parramatta are gone now, but this might be their last opportunity to even be a sniff of finals footy. But look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Roosters win well. Roosters will win very well, man. Parramatta are looking shot to pieces at the moment. Roosters, I think they got pretty much their full team back here. So for me, Roosters win well. I'll go the Roosters by 20 points. I'll go a scoreline of 32 points to 12. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Angus Crichton in the second row as the first try scorer. Can't see Parramatta winning. I know it's at CommBank, and I know they can be different there, but I just can't see them winning. Roosters by 20. Angus Crichton first try. Can't see the Parramatta Eels winning. Moving on to Sunday footy, and what a game this is going to be, man. Sunday, 2 o'clock at Brookvale Oval. Manly versus Dragons. This is a tough game to call, man. Manly, $1.45. Dragons, $2.70. $2.70 for the Dragons is good value. Now, I know the Dragons are a very hard team to get a read on. 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad. They're very hot and cold, but Manly are probably in the same boat. Manly are hard to get a read on as well. Dragons are 9th on the ladder, Manly 11th too. Like, it's a tough game to call. Dragons' record is 7-6. Manly's record is 6-6, but they've had a draw in there as well. I don't even know who to pick in this game. I know it's at Brookvale, but the Dragons have a fairly good record at Brookvale too, I believe. I'm just having a look at the stats here. The Dragons have a 43% win rate at Brookvale Oval, which is actually pretty good considering the circumstances. So, look, I know I know Dragons beat Manly earlier in the year at Wollongong, but this is going to be a tough game to call. I don't know who to tip. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to tip the Dragons. I think I will tip the Dragons. I think this game, though, is going to be the most high-scoring game of the entire weekend. I can see this game just all-out attack. So I'm going to go the Dragons by 2. I'm going to go 32 points to 30. An extremely high-scoring game. 32-30 the Dragons. First try scorer. I'm going to go with Moses Suli up against his old side. If you have a look at Manly's defense on that right side, Garrick and Saab, it's just been dog shit every week. Brian Ty got a hat trick on the weekend on that edge. I think Moses Sully can score first up against Ruben Garrick, and yeah, I'm going to take the Dragons by 2 points, 32-30. But Manly win. I won't be shocked. And the final game of the round, Sunday 4:00 from Newcastle. We got the Knights and the Panthers. Panthers $1.25 and Newcastle at $4. $4 for the Knights. Now, they played at Newcastle last year and the Panthers won that game in Golden Point. Nathan Cleary field goal. And then the Panthers obviously beat them at the back end. I think during Origin from memory. Look, the Knights had a really gutsy performance against Melbourne on the weekend, and Panthers had a bit of a battle there against Manly for a long time, but eventually got the 2 points. Look, Newcastle. Last time Newcastle played at home, they were embarrassed by the Dogs, and you'd expect Newcastle to show some guts here, but I just don't see a world where they even go close to the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to put an absolute score on here. I know it's in Newcastle, and I understand the Knights may actually have a crack, and they might give them a game, but I'm going to put my trust in the Panthers and say Panthers win, and the Panthers win well. Still no Bradman Best back. Still look really clunky with the ball. Panthers, for me, win. I'll go the Panthers by 24 points. I'll go a scoreline of 38 points to 14. And yeah, first try scorer, I'm going to go with Isaac Tago. Tago for first try. Panthers to win. So let's just go for the tips real quick, and then we'll wrap things up here, guys. So Sharks to beat the Dolphins on Thursday night, 1-12. Cowboys to beat the Raiders in Canberra, 1-12. Broncos to win at Accor Stadium, 13+. West Tigers to beat the Gold Coast, 1-12. Melbourne to beat the Warriors, 1-12. Roosters to win at CommBank, 13+. Dragons are my specials at the weekend. Dragons to win, 1-12. And the Panthers to win, 13+. All right, guys. That's going to wrap up my round 15 tips. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave your tips for round 15 in the comment section down below. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. See you guys tomorrow night for the mid-season review. Going to go for each team and, give them a bit of a recap on their year so far. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Go the Cowboys.